Hello, my name is Jennifer Gutierrez. Welcome to my final project presentation, for which I have chosen to create a training guide brochure for one of my library's free online databases, the Archives of Sexuality and Gender. For the purpose of this project, I am acting as a library assistant who is introducing an educational resource to the library for public distribution and use. Developing a guide like this would benefit from objective feedback, so I would suggest utilizing library staff and perhaps a teen advisory board in fine-tuning the language and content. Since my target audience is teens and young adults, my hope would be that such a tool could even be sent to local schools for distribution to students. The goal here is to assist students with research when assigned LGBTQ-related topics, as well as to encourage curiosity and exposure to the history and culture of LGBTQ society. Informing the next generations about the many issues surrounding LGBTQ individuals can be a powerful move towards acceptance and a step away from ignorance-driven hate. It is also my intention that members of the LGBTQ community might be able to find support and clarity within the content of the database. In bringing the information to the foreground, I feel that more youth might be encouraged to explore their own identities. When creating the brochure, one of my primary objectives was to make it colorful and attractive. I wanted to make sure it would capture people's attention. The simple but colorful rainbow on the front page is an iconic symbol of the LGBTQ community, so I thought it would be easily recognized as well as noticeable from afar. Another important concept to me was the language itself. As I mentioned previously, my target audience consists mainly of teens and young adults. However, I wanted to make sure that it could be understood by children as young as 10 or 11, so I tried to refrain from using overly technical terms or complicated language. As you can see, when you open the brochure, the next page poses a couple questions to the searcher. The intention here was to give the indication that the resource is not just for scholarly research. It is also meant for people who are just curious about a topic, or perhaps someone with a friend or family member who is going through a difficult time because of their gender identity. As we move on into the guide, you will see an introduction to the database itself. It quickly explains that the database offers extensive data on an international scope. Next is a very simplified summary of how to establish a search plan and strategy. I knew I would not be able to fit much information on the brochure, so I had to really think about what young searchers would really need from a training guide. I wanted to spend more space on the advanced search options, so I sacrificed a more thorough explanation of research strategies with the idea that such a topic could be covered by library programming or, hopefully, in school. The middle section moves on to advanced search. I opted to use actual screenshot images from the database's webpage whenever possible, both to add a little graphic interest value and to familiarize readers with what things would look like once they get on the computer. As you can see, I briefly covered the variations box, search fields, and search limiters, which is all that is available in advanced search. I decided to devote almost an entire page of the brochure to Boolean operators, because I believe that is one of the biggest staples in any database that is not taught in many schools. Boolean operators are a hugely important, useful, and basic concept. Without an understanding of them, searchers would have no idea what the add row feature is and how to use it, in this or in any other database. I supplied both simplified text definitions of each operator, as well as Venn diagram images. This is meant to serve both linguistic and visual learners. Finally, I concluded the guide with a reminder that local librarians are there to help, in many different forms, through the entire research process. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my presentation, and I look forward to your feedback on my training guide.